What an absolute bloodbath week 3 of the NFL was. Shout out to Dan Quinn's nose because Marcus Mariota almost stuck him out. But we're just going to jump right into it. One of my 3 games of the week. NFC divisional round rematch between the LA Rams and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Rams took an early lead. It was 26-7 in the third quarter, but somehow the Eagles erased it. 19-point deficit. They ended up winning the game 33-26. How did they do that? Let's find out. Rams looked amazing. Kyron and Corum combined for over 140 yards total. Puka Nacua is looking like 2021 Cooper Kupp with his connection with Stafford. I mean, my goodness, he is unbelievable. And the connection with Stafford for Davante Adams. Davante, still elite despite age, despite all. And the thing is that it was 26-7 in the third quarter. That's a 19-point lead for the LA Rams. And what happens? It was all Philly after that. Philly, Hurts proved that he can still throw the ball. And I know that A.J. Brown had a ton of yards after the catch, and he looked phenomenal. Breaking tackles, stiff arms, trucks, anything you want, he got it. He was able to take charge on offense, drive the Eagles down the field, and they ended up scoring a touchdown with Devontae Smith to win the game. Hurts was able to prove that he could throw the ball still, despite worries after the first 2 games. People were questioning whether or not the Eagles' passing game still had it. They still got it. As much as that pains me to say, they still got it. In the fourth quarter alone, the Eagles had 2 blocked field goals. At the end of the game, when the Rams try and kick a game-winning field goal with time about to expire, what do the Eagles do? Jordan Davis blocks the field goal, grabs the ball, and runs it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown Philly, game over. Oh my goodness, this was just a phenomenal thing to watch because all he had to do was jump on the ball once it landed. But no, he didn't want to do that. He wanted the big boy touchdown, and he got it. He got the big boy touchdown. Jordan Davis, my goodness, that was phenomenal. That being said, the Eagles have won 12 straight home games dating back to last year. This team in Philly is phenomenal. They are the team to beat, and they always have been, at least for the last year or so. And Philly steals the win back from LA, who goes to play the Indianapolis Colts next week. And the Colts have been a great team as well. I want to see if the Rams can bounce back next week because this loss hurts. This loss has to hurt for Sean McVay and the Rams. And next week, they have a huge test against the Colts. They need a bounce-back win because this one is going to sting for a little bit. And the Eagles, they're now 3-0. They move forward, and I'll talk about them later, who they play next week. But it's another big one, and you're going to want to stay tuned for that. Moving on, next game of the week, Chargers versus Broncos. What did I say last week about Justin Herbert? He is an MVP caliber player. Justin Herbert is elite. There's a top 4 and there's a top 5. Justin Herbert has entered the conversation. He's been there. You just weren't ready for it. But Justin Herbert, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. With the Chiefs struggling, both these teams, the Chargers and the Broncos, had a lot to prove. This was their chance to claim the AFC West as theirs. So far early in the season, this was their chance. And the Chargers were able to pull out a huge, massive win against their division rival, the Denver Broncos. This win was spectacular. Keenan Allen, everyone said he was too old returning back to the Chargers. No. 7 receptions, 65 yards, and a touchdown. And Ladd McConkey, he didn't have to do much. 4 receptions, 41 yards, but Ladd McConkey is still a phenomenal receiver in this league. And don't forget about the man who can't catch, Quentin Johnson, catching the ball, catching touchdowns left and right. This was the first game he didn't have a touchdown, yet he still had a great game. This Chargers offense is a problem, and they don't know how to back down, and they won't do it. Shout out Tom Petty, because they won't back down. Justin Herbert on the day had 300 yards to go along with a touchdown. And Marion Hampton had 70 yards and a touchdown. On the other side, the Broncos, despite playing well, Bo Nix only had 156 yards and a touchdown. He had no picks. Justin Herbert did throw a pick. But Dobbins proved that this is his backfield. 11 carries, 83 yards and a touchdown. Dobbins, he really had a revenge game against LA. It just wasn't good enough. The Chargers are too good. And I know I keep saying Justin Herbert's elite. Let me give you some stats. 300 yards and a touchdown against one of the league's best defenses. One of the league's best defenses and a divisional rival with a chance to really take claim of the AFC West. And he just did that. He just did that. And their wide receiver production has been spectacular this season. And it has proved true yet again this week. Quentin Johnson, 6 receptions, 89 yards. First game without a touchdown this season. Omarion Hampton, he had just shy of 130 yards from scrimmage to go along with a touchdown and 6 receptions, proving that he can be a sustainable running back. And with the injury to Najee Harris and maybe an Achilles and maybe something else, we're not sure, but there are fears that it is a torn Achilles. So Najee Harris, rest up, get well soon. But Omarion Hampton can lead this backfield, and this is going to be an elite team all season long as they are now 3-0 moving in to week 4. But before we do that, before we move into week 4, there's one more game we got to talk about. But I'm going to start off with an honorable mention, Steelers-Pats. This one was kind of unusual because the Patriots had over 100 more passing yards and over 50 more rushing yards. Yet they lost this game by a whole touchdown. Why is that? Because the Steelers defense forced 5 turnovers on the New England Patriots. That's why. Steelers are 2-0, Patriots are 1-2. But my third and final game of the week is the Jets versus the Buccaneers. The Jets versus the Bucs. The Jets, the Bucs. You're talking about the team that has Baker Mayfield versus the team that's playing with their backup quarterback, Tyrod Taylor? Yes, I am. Now, why is that? Baker Money Mayfield. That's his new name because that is what he is. He is money when it comes down to it. When there's not much time left and you need someone to throw the ball, who do you call? Show me the money. Show me Baker. Give me Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield in 3 games this season has led 3 game-winning drives. The Buccaneers are 3-0. Baker Mayfield is making an MVP caliber case. He's making a case for himself right now, and that is not a name that I thought that we would be hearing, especially after Liam Cohen departed at the beginning of the season. Chris Godwin's been out. Tristan Wirfs has been out. Mike Evans is now hurt. But Baker, he's got it. He's him. He has every tool that you need in your tool shed to be able to walk into any game and win, and that's what he's been doing. The end of this game was otherworldly. Oh my goodness. 2 minutes left. The Bucs are up 26-20. Jets block a field goal and are able to take it all the way back for a score, taking the lead 27-26. They're now less than 2 minutes in the game. That was at the 2-minute warning, and when that started, the game seems over. The Jets won. They're up. Baker can't do it, and it's less than 2 minutes. He doesn't have the time, or does he? But no, because here comes Baker Money Mayfield. Takes it into his hands to lead the Buccaneers on a drive all the way down into field goal range. And what does Chase McLaughlin do? He nails it. Game over. Buccaneers win, move to 3-0. Jets, they fall to 0-3.